Yo, welcome back to the ultimate guide to win in Season 2 of OG Fortnite. Now, this video is really for anyone that's just trying to get a win, because there's a strategy to do it in OG Fortnite, and you can see at the top left, we've got a crown, we know what we're doing. This isn't our first rodeo. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to land at this place down here. It's an unnamed location, but what we're going to call it, we're just going to call it the factories for the moment. And you're going to land just up here on this place. We do have Nick in the game here. He's going to be helping us out get a win. As duos, you can use this strategy with duos, squads, whatever you want. There's enough loot for everyone. But you're just going to land in here, and you're going to grab the floor loot and just dig up, because there's a chest. But even if you get really bad loot, it doesn't matter. There's going to be tons and tons of chests along our loot path. I recommend don't take the pistol. The pistol is pretty doo-doo. Take shotguns, take SMGs, ARs. Just don't take a pistol. The pistol is not your best friend. Make sure when people land that you just get them out of the game. Don't waste your time with them or playing with them. It's just safer to get them out, get them done. Just like so, easy as. There's a lot of bots in our games, but that is okay. Bots make it easier to get a win, so we can thank the bots for the victory. Now there is someone in there which we've got to be careful. Not anymore though, because he's dead. So what you're going to want to do is when you see enemies, just use your corners, use the walls to take angles and peek like so. That's going to be really key in getting your elims and staying safe and not taking damage. Unlike Zero Build in Battle Royale, we don't actually have the extra shields, the extra 50 over shields that you would usually get. So you got to play smart and make the most of your shields that you've got. Shields in OG Battle Royale are much more uncommon, so you've got to really use them carefully and resourcefully. Obviously, this means that your enemies are also often going to have no shields, so you can be more confident in the battles, but remember, like, if you take damage, you're going to be very at risk. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to just get as much metal as you can. Stock up on metal. These containers are very slow, but they're a good way of getting that metal up. Trucks, cars, all great ways to get metal. And you're just going to keep whacking, keep climbing. You're going to hopefully get to 400-500 by the time you're leaving this place. And that is ideal. If you don't make it there, you don't have to stress. But the more match you get, the easier it is to win. Now we do have a little way to go, but if we can get up to 500 wood and just start getting that metal, it's super ideal. Now guys, we do have a shotgun, an SMG, and a revolver at the moment. If you're not comfortable using a revolver, just chuck an AR on. An AR is a safe option, and they do heaps and heaps of damage. We've got a blue AR here. I find a blue AR is much more easy to use than a revolver, so I am actually going to take that. There are minis and a med kit here, Nick, if you are carrying those. That's another thing to mention, guys. If you have a teammate on your team, don't carry the same shields as they are, because it just doubles. There's no need to double up. If you've got someone carrying med kits, let them carry the med kits and you carry big shields and or something else. After you've got a decent amount of loot, we've got 300 metal, 150 brick, and 500 wood. You're just going to come up this way to this massive chair over here. You see it in the distance. There's a massive chair. And you're just going to slowly make your way over there, even if the storm isn't directly on it. That's going to be the next stop on the loot run. Yeah, so don't stress. Take your time. The storm isn't your enemy. It's your friend. Because the storm isn't here, that means there's going to be less people, so you can chill out and don't stress when you're looting. Take your time. It might be smart to take some medkits if one of your teammates is carrying medkits. If not, you're just going to make sure that you're out of the storm by the time it catches up. But yeah, guys, just make sure you get all of these chests. I don't know why I'm shooting it. When you shoot, you obviously give away your position, so don't do that. That's an easy tip to master. Don't give away your position by shooting at random times. Okay, we got a second big pot there. That is awesome. Keep stacking up the metal. Keep stacking up the metal. You want to get as much metal as you can. Even these chairs, 1 metal, 6 metal from those, from the umbrella. But yeah, guys, after we loot up here, we're gonna have 500 metal, hopefully. If you haven't gotten there, guys, it's okay. Don't stress. That's the main line of this video is don't stress, guys, because at the end of the day, if you lose, you can run it back to the same loot path, and you're gonna have the much better luck. You don't even have to. Oh wow. You don't even have to break or build up here. You can just edit these things like this and they'll all come falling down in a second. So you do that on all of the corners. Just edit, reset, like so, and the whole thing will come tumbling down and you will have your big pot. If you're lucky enough to get a big pot, that is. Now after you've gotten a whole bunch of loot, we see Nick finishing up the last of these cars. We're going to just keep on moving and we're going to want to head over to this bridge. By this time you should have at least 1,000 mats or more. If you don't, you've done something wrong and you're going to want to just reset. You may as well just reset. If you have less than 1,000 mats, unless you're cracked like clicks, just reset. So yeah, it is key to make sure that you're stacking up on mats as you go. If you're playing zero build, I'm not sure if there is zero builds out in this mode, but if you're playing zero builds, then obviously you don't need any mats and you can just relax as you loot. But there will be a chest on the way down here. There's more ammo boxes. Obviously the storm is coming in, so you want to be aware of that. But yeah, don't stress about it. It's never too much of a biggie if you take a little bit of damage like we see Nick has here. Obviously I have just made it out without taking any damage, which means we have done the loot run perfectly. The next stop is if you don't have time to jump up on that hill and get those houses, you're going to just come over here to this little house. Sometimes the storm does pull you a little bit further north, and skipping this house is necessary. But if you got time to just stop in, look for any chests that have been left out. We can tell that this has already been looted, so that is unfortunate. But if it's not, you'll find yourself there's two chest spawns at one chest spawn. There's at least one chest spawn there, so that's a really good way to make sure that you can just get more and more mats. So what you're gonna want to do is keep an eye on the storm now. The storm is not your friend. It was scaring people away from the outskirts so you could loot up, but now you've got to find your way to the center of the storm and try and do that without getting yourself killed. Now the easiest way to do this is look for cover. So you can see where we're going, there is a mountain on this side, we got tilted on the other. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get near this smaller mountain. Obviously all the players are going to be rushing towards the really large mountain, and we don't want to be engaging in hundreds and hundreds of players, or 800 of players, or 15 in this case. But they're all going to be rushing over to this big mountain. We see there's already builds on it, so we're just going to rush to the small mountain. We can grab any loot you see on the way. You know, you never know if you're going to find yourself a better gun. Our loot is already pretty good, but you know, I will take a bolt. That is why we just keep looting. Keep looting. If you're not happy with it, just keep looting and you'll find something better. But yeah, guys, you're just going to want to, obviously if you see a free elim, take it. But he's moving, so I'm not a good shot. So I won't take it. And if you do choose to engage in battle, be prepared for a fight. If you want to just make it to the end game, just try and avoid fight. Go places where they can't see your builds, and then get some height. Your positioning is going to be super important. Use your wood to get height. Obviously, if there is a storm where there isn't a nice place for you to get some height, just stay covered. Box up if you need to, and just stay under cover. And then when you see enemies, just take some shots. If you get some damage on them, you're welcome to rush. But like in this example, I didn't need to, so I can stay up here where I'm covered by the height, the mountain, and people can't reach me, and that is the safest way to go. So I can just chill up here. If I want to, I can box up. I don't really need to, because no one's going to be looking up here. So I'm just going to keep on farming, keep on getting those mats up again. Our wood did drop again as we climbed up the mountain, but we're just going to farm those mats again. So guys, if you're at this stage and there's 10 people left, I'd be checking how many squads or players there are left. If you're playing solos, then obviously there's 10 teams, but in this case we're duos, and they all happen to be full duos left. So we've got 5 teams, and just try and use your awareness to figure out where people are. We know that there's at least a team over there. There's probably going to be 2 because we heard some shooting. Tilted Towers is a large place, so I can expect one team to be coming from that way. I can hear shots from there actually, so there's 2 teams that it's likely that are going to be coming over that way, because otherwise there wouldn't be shots. And that was actually a cracker's shot, so if you're insane like me, don't be afraid to take some shots. So it seems like we're in the middle of everyone. We've got a pretty good position. But yeah, just keep farming, take your time, don't get too stressed. As the storm gets closer and closer to 0, closer and closer to the end game, where there's super small circles, you're gonna need those mats. That was 237 meters. So yeah, just be aware of where your teammates are, what's happening in the game. If we can get a finish, that would be ideal. Obviously we can't, because I missed that simple shot. Be aware of standing still. Right now I'm fairly still, so I don't want to get sniped from any other third party. So you're just going to be aware to keep yourself moving around. But a really important thing to know is where your teammate is. If your teammate is fighting another team, you want to be there. You want to be helping. If you're not helping, then, you know, expect a loss. So we got the 2 squads over there. It seems like one was a bot squad because he was just running around in the open there. So that was really interesting to see. But yeah, just keep that awareness. We've got people launch padding in from this far side. So we're just going to have to be aware of what's happening. So if you get them low, don't be afraid to push. You get early knock, and that is ideal, like so. Watch out for other teams. Again, third parties are going to be your worst enemy. So make sure you know where all the enemies are so that you can just get those easy kills on them and not have to stress about third parties. Now, I've got one person on me, but his teammate is in fact dead. So I can chill. I'm going to wait before I push for for Nick to help me out here, because he's right under me and I'm not really sure what to do. Remember guys, if you're in a position where you're stuck, just take your time. There is no rush. There is no rush. Now he probably will start taking shots. And that is what you need to do. So you just take your time and make sure you hit those shots. If you don't hit the shots, then you're going to be in a tough spot. Now this is a 2v1, so you'll see we have got the advantage already. So now all we need to do is just get back to that high ground. Get back to the high ground and take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. You don't want to be rushing. There's no need to be rushing. Oh, we already got that RPG, so make sure you're max health, and just get that height. Get that height. You don't have to peek or anything, rush him from down low. Just get the height. So we're going to run back up this mountain. I didn't even need that loot anymore. I see some juicy looking loot, but because of our loot run that we've had, our loot is already super stacked. So we can just run back up to this height and try and use our awareness to figure out where this enemy is. Now, we've just so happened to pull zone, which is likely because of our positioning from earlier on when we picked the zone. But we have spotted him. He's come down the left side of this mountain. So what we're going to just do is just lay some soft pressure. He's obviously just chilling out behind that mountain there. He's got no need to leave. He's got 2 enemies firing at him, so just understand what the enemy is going through. As the enemy is sinking, just understand what they're going to do next. If you know what they're going to do next, then you're going to have no problem winning the game. So yeah, be prepared for them to fly over with a launch pad or run along and trying to flank you. Maybe get a headshot snipe on one of your teammates. That's always a scary thing to be aware of. So just, again, make sure you're covered, make sure you're safe, and just take it slow. Slow and steady wins the race. If you're playing it slow and you're playing it smart, then you have no need to stress at all. As you can see in our inventory, we've got 3 blue items, which, you know, I would love to have a purple or a gold scar, even a gold sniper, or even a spaz even, but you don't need that to win the game. If you have smart awareness, smart gameplay sense, and smart rotating, you're gonna be fine. So we can just sit here even without just average loot and chill out. I think we got a pretty unlucky lot of chests in our loot run this time, but you'll find that the more and more you do this, the more consistently you'll be able to get some wins. And we've also got 2 slurps and 1 big pot. We did have 3 big pots, but we had to take some damage for a fight. But you see that there's no stress with our heals either, so we're allowed to just chill out here and relax. We've even got a launch pad if we need to use that. So what I'm going to do is just place that down so we can get ready to fly if we need to. That can be really important for quick exits. Just know what your escape plan is if you need to use one. But yeah, there's no need to rush. We could easily just rush over and push him, but that puts us at risk of falling down the bottom, taking damage while we're in the air launch padding, or even taking damage as we're running across the ground below. So it makes no sense to push him if we don't need to. So we're just going to wait for this storm to roll in, see what the enemy does, and hopefully he'll have to push us. In an ideal world, that will happen. If it's not an ideal world, then, well, you might have to just be a good player. Sometimes the smart awareness and the smart skills and positioning isn't all you need. You need to just have the aim. You need to have the builds even. Sometimes you just need to have luck on your side. But we're getting grenaded right now, which isn't as good, but we can see where he is. He's up the top there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to... Oh yeah, we see him. He's behind this wall. So yeah, just apply some soft pressure. He's going to have to push us. We can see that the storm is coming over to the side here. So we're just going to start making sure that we can secure the height so he can't break us out. That's really what we need to do right now. That is the smart and rational play. He is building back up there. But can we get a snipe? That might be useful. Oh, that would have been good. But yeah, so since we've built out here, he's going to have to come up to us again, which puts him in a really tricky situation. So we see I hit him for 105 there with a snipe. And a little bit of AR damage as well, so he's quite low. He's stressing, but again, that's because he's in a rough spot. He's in a rough position because we've outsmarted him with our storm sense. So again, just take it slow. Don't push him. Just take some easy distance shots, and you'll find yourself getting that victory. Now he is throwing those grenades, but again, if you just play smart, hit some shots, and just take your time, you're gonna get that win. So guys, I wish you all the best of luck in your games, and I'm sure you'll get some wins. God bless, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.